Welcome to the Fear and Greed Afternoon Report for Tuesday the 9th of August 2022. I'm Sean Aylmer. Every afternoon we've got the 5 stories that happened today that you need to know about. Let's jump into it. Story number 1, the S&P ASX 200 closed the day up slightly to 7,030 points. Telcos were among the best performers, with market leader Telstra jumping 0.8%. Tech stocks also did well, while financials and utilities were among the worst performers. Among the large caps, the banks were lower thanks to a disappointing result from National Australia Bank. The country's second largest bank reported disappointing revenue figures for the June quarter and for the period made $1.8 billion in earnings. Its share price fell more than 3% today. The 3 big miners, BHP, Fortescue Metals and Rio Tinto, also fell back. Wesfarmers and industrial property giant Goodman Group both rose 1.8%, while Aristocrat Leisure and QBE Insurance were both more than 1% higher. WiseTech Global jumped 2.5%, while Xero was up 3%. There was plenty of action away from the large caps, and that's story number 2. Lithium miner Lake Resources jumped 16%, despite making no market announcement. Lake is among the most shorted stocks on the market, which means investors are betting on the share price falling. But Lake's share price has doubled in less than a month, meaning there's a bunch of short sellers who have done their money. Megaport's share price rose 10% today after it reported positive earnings in the fourth quarter. The telco infrastructure company laid off 35 staff, which was enough to turn things around. The group reported a jump in revenue last financial year, driven by its expanding data center footprint in the US. Coal miner Coronado reported a net profit of $562 million for the half year to June 30. That's nearly 7 times what it made a year earlier. Nothing like soaring coal prices to help things out. It is one of the 10 best performing stocks of the top 200 over the past year. And finally, shares in Mesoblast fell more than 6% after the stem cell company completed a $65 million capital raising. Plenty going on in the markets today. Story number 3, News Corp reported a 31% jump in pre-tax earnings for the last financial year, thanks to a big rise in its real estate division. That division includes News' ownership in REA Group in Australia and Realtor.com in the US. The results pleased shareholders, who pushed up the group's share price nearly 4% today. Another part of the business to do well was Dow Jones, which owns the Wall Street Journal. Its pre-tax profit jumped 30%. The local businesses appear to be doing okay, though I've got to say deciphering News Corp's results is never easy. Story number 4 is very closely associated with News Corp. Online property group REA said pre-tax profit jumped 17% for the last financial year. That was on strong revenue growth. Operating costs were also much higher, driven by its purchase of broker Mortgage Choice and REA India. Its share price was up 7.5% today. The share price of arch rival Domain was up 8.7%. And finally, story number 5. Japanese conglomerate SoftBank has announced a $23.4 billion loss, largely due to foreign currency losses and falling financial markets. Boss Masayoshi Son said he plans widespread cost-cutting as a result, which outside the US and UK is one of the largest corporate plunges ever. Certainly it's the biggest loss ever for SoftBank, which has investments around the world. The group's venture capital fund, the SoftBank Vision Fund, sustained the bulk of the losses. It's the world's largest technology fund and holds stakes in hundreds of unlisted technology startups. $23.4 billion. That's quite the loss. That's it for the afternoon report for Tuesday, the 9th of August, 2022. Adam Lang and I will be back tomorrow morning for the Wednesday edition of Fear and Greed. I'm Sean Aylmer. Enjoy your evening.